Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Bubblegum Reviews. My name is Steve, and tonight's review will be on the movie here to the left of me. We have Waking Ned Devine. This is a first-time watch for me. In this, we have Ian Bannon. I think Jack Nesbitt is his name, and Fionnuala Flanagan. I know I'm probably saying her first name wrong. Anyways, those are the three main. Then we have a guy named David Kelly, who is actually probably my favorite person in this. I don't know why. He just kind of reminds me of the old man in the Rocky movies. That's like the. He's also in Grumpy Old Men. Yeah, the old guy, the one that like smoking, drinking beer, and he talks about how he's eating bacon his whole life and stuff. Anyways, little quick summary into this is about a town who tries to cash a lottery ticket after the person that owns it has a heart attack. So, anyways, to start things off, my number one favorite thing about this movie is the soundtrack. The soundtrack killed it. Killed it. Start to finish, loved it. Did. With that being said, the soundtrack, this isn't a bad thing at all, but the soundtrack is very, very similar. Certain parts of the soundtrack are very similar to Braveheart, which I understand sort of, but at the same time, like it's not even the same composer. James Horner was for Braveheart. This guy is, I think, Shane Dale or something like that. But anyways, like the similarity is uncanny, but I loved it. I freaking loved it. I loved this movie from start to finish. There was a few periods in there where I was like, what in the hell am I watching? But then I started just getting and really enjoying it. I mean, this movie started off at a great, like the start of this movie was great. The where he scares the hell out of his wife. He scares his wife and then like grabs the pie and just then takes a whole bite or whatever, and she smacks him on the head and leaves. Oh my god, that was so funny. This movie's really good. Emotional, funny, everything. I watched this movie yesterday. Yeah, yesterday for St. Patrick's Day, and it was a perfect watch. Like I could not ask for a better movie to watch. This was great. The shooting location, the visual aspect of this movie was fantastic, and it actually was not filmed in Ireland, although it was supposed to take place in Ireland. I mean, technically it is, but it isn't. We'll get to that in a few. So, tell me, Ian Bannon, is it Michael? No, Michael's David Kelly. Ian Bannon, anyways. He is once you watch, you'll know who I'm talking about. Tell me this guy does not remind you of Jack Lemmon. 100%. He reminds me of Jack Lemmon. And this movie reminds me of Grumpy Old Men. The reason I say that, one of the reasons is, like I said, David Kelly reminds me of the dad that ends up having a heart attack and dying, or just dying peacefully in Grumpy Old Men. The son and daughter on and off relationship in Waking Ned Devine, same thing in Grumpy Old Men. There's just a lot of similarities to these two movies, and I like it. I do. The other thing that I like, well, the other things I like is the screenplay, the writing, cinematography. It wasn't 100% great, but it wasn't terrible. This movie was just so much fun. Like, I just enjoyed the movie. Like, there is so much about this that was great. I felt like it was like reeling me in as I was watching it. I'm just along for the ride, and I was enjoying every second of it. This was a great film. It really was. Like, I'm not familiar with this director at all. I've never seen anything he's done. This is the first thing, and he made a hell of an impression on me because I loved it. So with that, the director is Kirk Jones. As I said, I've never seen anything he's done. IMDb gave this a 7.3 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes gave it an 84%. Dog Bones gave it a 3.5 out of 4. I gave it a 10 out of 10, man. I was feeling super, I guess, lucky and happy and Irishy, however you want to say it. I love this movie. It was a great watch. Like, I say 10 years ago, my movie horizon would never watch this film. Never. I'm not saying I would today, but my horizon from 10 years to now has broadened a lot to where I'm more open to watching stuff like this. 10 years ago, somebody would have been like, watch this. And I would have just been like, sure, okay. And then turn around and been like, I ain't watching this crap. But here we are today, and I'm watching something that I said, I never thought I'd watch. Reasons I tell you to watch this, everything. Everything. This is a complete movie. This is a fantastic movie. My favorite scene in this would have to be the false teeth scene. False teeth, where the false teeth come flying out. That scene right there put me in a really good laugh, and I loved it. Reasons I tell you to watch this, like I said, is everything, but also the music and the visual aspect. Those are great. And the writing and the acting. Everybody that is in this that's acting does a great job. Like, this is just an all-around great performance by everybody there. It's such a good watch. Box office of $55.3 million on a budget of $3 million, so it made $52.3 million profit. That is more profit than the past two movies I've reviewed, and those two were The Wind That Shakes the Barley and Rock and Rolla. It made more than those two combined. That's pretty awesome. And again, this movie, just like the one before it, I've never heard of it. Well, sorry, it's not that I've never heard of it. I've never been introduced to it, I guess you could say. Like, there was never a, oh, I remember that. I remember seeing such and such about that. No, there was none of that. This was like, my buddy showed me this, and I looked at it. First thing I said was, yeah, oh, okay. But here we are today. Here we are today. So, anyways, with that being said, up next, I am really looking forward to watching this one, so this will be fun. The Apple Dumpling Gang with good old Barney from Andy Griffith's Show. Yeah. So, anyways, that's all for tonight. Like and subscribe. Check out my letterbox. Check out my eBay. And last but not least, either like this review or start eating that trash can.
And raise your spirits to the sky. Raise them to Ned Devine. God bless you, Ned. And may we be forever in your debt.
To Ned Devine.
Ned?
To Ned.
Till to me the parting glass and